It's true. I'm really disappointed. Still haven't figured out the whole vertical thing. Right. Hi YouTube! Hello, we are back and we'll be diving into a new book tonight. We've been hanging out over on the Twitch stream for the past hour, so if you're interested in the future in joining in with some ASMR and just cozy hangout content, then make sure you check out the Twitch channel. But we are here for the reading. We are starting the Odyssey tonight, which I'm so excited for, you guys. I'm so excited for. I want to explain a little bit about the translation that I chose, because translations can make a massive difference. A massive difference in the book that you're reading. The tone, the accessibility. So, first off, I did look at a lot of different translations and read a lot of different opinions about them. However, a lot of them were not even able to be on my shortlist because I was looking to choose from translations that exist in the public domain. Yes, it is in English. It is indeed in English. Now, public domain, aka older, and so some of them were kind of denser and less accessible. The other decision that I had to make is that now the Odyssey is originally a work of verse, like it's an epic poem, and most of the translations are in verse. There are a few in prose, and there are mixed feelings about this, because surely if something was written in prose, it's meant to be in prose. You're gonna lose something. Oh no, sorry. If something's written in verse, it's meant to be in verse, you lose something if you read it in prose. The one I chose is in prose. Hear me out. Hear me out. First of all, I have to think about the format that we're reading this, right? Some of you will be reading along. What does that mean? Paragraph format. Prose is paragraph format versus verse, which is like poetry format. Okay? It was originally written as a poem, and most translations are written as poems. The translation I chose is in paragraph format. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Feel free to ask. What my chair is. Okay. Most of you guys, I think, do not read along off the page while I'm reading, which is totally fine. But I think that in terms of absorbing and following the story as we go along, reading it in prose will actually make that easier for you guys as listeners. The chair is barking. Also, because I was choosing from public domain translations, the verse translations, like the poetry form ones, some of them were like very stodgy, because they were also adhering to like the rules of poetry at the era that it was translated. And I think you guys would just get bored so fast, you know? You missed the Bork? What is this? Prose was the right call. I think so. At first I was like resisting that. I was like, no, we should read it in verse because it was written in verse. But I think that for the purposes of this, like this format, and then if any of you are like, wow, I fucking love this and I want to read more, you can absolutely go and seek out a different format and get more from it from reading a different translation. Yeah. You have an excuse for why you missed the productivity stream today. You were DMing D&D. That's a great excuse. Back then, poetry sucked ass. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Your beehive is looking tall and volume. It's not a beehive, it's just a bun. We're supposed to be talking about books, you guys. Drazen, you're just coming in here and dropping Rilke. I love Rilke. I've read Rilke on stream before. I love Rilke. Okay. So that's my choice. That was my choice. I chose the Samuel Butler translation, which is quite a famous one. It's quite well known. It's, at this point, in terms of like popular opinion, there are others that are like more recommended. You've got some people that are like recommending them for like the truest, and others that are recommending for like the most accessible, and blah 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 blah. There's different ways to dig into it within the boundaries of choosing a public domain version and trying to make it as easily accessible as possible for people that are just listening, although I know some of you will be opening a copy and reading along, and it is linked in the chat. I'm sorry, I'm just checking to make sure it's linked on the YouTube chat as well. I know it's pinned at the top of Twitch chat. Okay. What if mustaches twirled themselves? I can tell you guys, you're primed. You're ready to go. Okay, yes, let me pin that comment. Wait. What? Wait. Oh no. This is very weird. Hold on. I was in YouTube Studio from the right account, but then I opened up and it had me logged into the other account in the same browser. That was crazy. Okay, here we go. I've solved it. Solved my issues. Pin message. Huzzah. Okay, now both chats have a pinned comment with a link where you can download the exact version that I'll be reading. You can download it for free from Project Gutenberg. That's not the comment. Hi, minis. Hello. And hi, M. Horn. It's good to see you. I'm sorry if I'm not keeping up with all comments. You chose it because his last name is Butler? What? Do I like butlers? Is that part of my lore? I can't keep up with all the lore you guys come up with. Oh my goodness, JC, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful evening as well. Okay. Yes, also, if you guys are, anyone in Twitch chat, if you feel like you're, if you're able and would like to, if you pop over to the YouTube chat, if you're able to open that in another window or what have you, then that actually really helps with the watch hours over there. One of my hopes for 2026 is to get monetized on both my YouTube channels, which we only started in November of last year, so they're very new. So, if you want to help with the watch hours, or drop a sub, or a like, or whatever. Although I think we hit a milestone. I'm like breathless with excitement. Yeah! We hit 500 hours. Watch hours on this channel. I need 3,000. I need 3,000 watch hours. So, we're a sixth of the way there. Hell yeah. Thank you to everyone who's helping out with that. If you ask nicely, I'm always nice. That's not true. JC over on the YouTube. Thank you, thank you. Was I nervous about my first time as a streamer? Absolutely. Yep. Yep. I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in one sitting, and I almost fainted in the middle of it, but I just kept reading. All right. All right. And I have another page open that I can reference if I need to that has the pronunciation of different names from the Odyssey. Hi, Jono, over on the YouTube. Hello, Jono. Oh my god, Oh Brother is so good. It's been a few years since I've seen it. It's so, so good. Hi, Zen. Break a leg. Thanks. Thanks. I've got my Kindle open. It's one of these things down here. There we go. Okay. I like how the full title seems to be The Odyssey Rendered into English Prose for the Use of Those Who Cannot Read the Original. Alright. Thank you very much, Mr. Butler. So we are starting, if you are looking at the Gutenberg version, there's some prefaces and such. Oh, yeah, I wanted to, okay, so I learned while looking into this something very interesting. I haven't read a lot about this, so I can't answer a bunch of questions. This is me just like learning this. Apparently, Samuel Butler felt very strongly that the Odyssey was actually written by a young woman. And so this translation of the Odyssey that we're reading tonight came out in 1900. 3 years before that, he put out a separate book, which does include some slightly different translation, but also some other content, called The Authoress of the Odyssey. Hey Matcha, hello. Where's the link? It should be pinned at the top of both chats. It should be pinned on both chats. Or if you're on Twitch, you can always do !book and it'll bring up the link. And more, and that would be very exciting. I saw that. He thinks it's a self-insert. Yes. And of course that made me have like a, Miyazaki moment. I'm like, is that where he got that name from? What? It must be, right? Jane pinned it like an hour ago. Do you remember this dropping? Yeah, I do. I was there for that when this translation dropped. It was kind of a big deal. Yeah, isn't that interesting though? Also, yeah, he says that the Odyssey was demonstrably written from one single neighborhood, and hence, even though nothing else pointed to this conclusion, presumably by one person only, that it was certainly written before 750, and in all probability before 1000 BC. And that the writer of this very early poem was demonstrably familiar with the Iliad as we now have it. So his opinion is that the Iliad was written by Homer, but that the Odyssey was written by someone else, aka a young woman who would have been very familiar with the manuscript of the Iliad. I'm not here to argue whether that's correct or not, because I have not done the research on that or his full argument. I just thought that was very interesting. Butler uses the Roman equivalents. That's kind of bad though, isn't it? Should I try to change it as I go along? Should I try to just like insert the Greek names? I feel like for like a famous Greek story, you should use the Greek names of the gods, right? Should I try to... He uses Ulysses instead of Odysseus. You guys... Okay. Jesus fucking Christ. It was really hard to choose a translation. You think I should try to replace them? Okay. I don't know how good a job I'm gonna do of that. I can try, and if I say a Roman name that I don't realize is the Roman name... We haven't started and there's already controversy. I know. Yeah, we're gonna have to be pausing and like, okay, what's the Greek name for this? Then I'm gonna... I could keep like a little document open and update it. And, you know, in the future, when this gets edited into a VOD, you won't even know. You won't even know. Should we do that? Alright. We can do it. Okay. Well... yeah, okay, yes, because they're straight from the beginning talking about Minerva. Oh god. What's the Greek version? Not the fucking Harry Potter character. This is one of the things I love about it here. Yeah, it's an authentic experience. All right. Oh my god. No, I just want a nice chart. Give me a nice chart. Come on, internet. You are in time for the book. We already are hitting controversy. You're AFK but here. Aw, thank you, Flora. You're also okay just being aware of the changes if you just want to read and keep the flow. That's just really annoying, you know? Okay, I found a chart for just the, you know, the typical gods. This might not be everyone, but okay, Minerva is Athena. Okay. All right. Ugh. Okay. As the reader, how do you feel about it? I feel like it should be the Greek names, because it's a Greek story. That's absolutely absurd to put the Roman names in. Samuel Butler, what the f were you doing? It will just mean a little bit of pausing. Sometimes as we go along, as long as you guys don't mind that. As long as you guys don't mind that. It'll be all clipped out during the edited version, and I'll be able to just be like, Samuel Butler's version, only I've put in the Greek names. and it'll be fine. But during the live reading, it just means that there will be some rough edges. But when is there not? When is there not? And maybe wait. A couple of you in the past have been able to take a book, like a Kindle version, and do like a find and replace of words. Remember when we had Bumble Bright? So maybe after this, it's too late for this stream, but moving forward, we could do, are you serious? Slut, are you serious? Because that would be amazing. And then it's just like, for the future readings, the names have been changed. Okay. Big hand for the slut. Yay. Okay, cool. We'll do the best. You guys can help me out. If there is one that I don't realize that I'm saying the Roman name, scream at me. Be like, hold up. Say the Greek name instead. We can figure it out, okay? Collaborative effort. Hey, Squishbat. Hi, minis. Jove is Zeus. Yeah. Well, wait, no. Zeus is Jupiter? Putting up a list on the side. I've got that. Yes. Visanon. Absolutely. Okay. Are we good? We're all good? We're back. Audio dead? Are we good now? Can you hear me? Wonderful. Wonderful. That happens like once a stream now. Very annoying, but not the end of the world. But very annoying. So I do have to get that sorted out at some point. Okay. Jove is the English name for the Roman god Jupiter, which is the Greek god Zeus. Okay. Right, so we want to stick with Zeus, right? We want to stick with the Greek names. Okay. Alright. We can do this. We can do this. So Minerva is Athena. Alright, so we're starting with book 1. If you're following along in the Gutenberg version, you'll probably want to jump to it in the table of contents because there's quite a bit of forward matter. You're so hyped? Me too! Me too! Genuinely, despite this hiccup and my new judgments that have festered about Samuel Butler before even starting to read. Despite that, I'm still excited. Okay. The Odyssey by Homer, purportedly. Samuel Butler disagrees. Translated by Samuel Butler in the year 1900. Book 1. The Gods in Council, Athena's visit to Ithaca, and the challenge from Telemachus to the suitors. Tell me, O Muse, of that ingenious hero who traveled far and wide after he had sacked the famous town of Troy. Many cities did he visit, and many were the nations with whose manners and customs he was acquainted. Moreover, he suffered much by sea while trying to save his own life and bring his men safely home. But do what he might, he could not save his men, for they perished through their own sheer folly in eating the cattle of the sun god, Hyperion. What's his Greek name? Hyperion. I don't see that on my list. Do we know? Apollo? Oh, Apollo. Yeah. Sun god? Well, this one has a Helios. Helios. Oh, this one translates Helios as just soul, and it translates Apollo as Apollo. It was Helios? Thank you, minis. Okay, I'll go with Helios. Thank you. For they perished through their own sheer folly in eating the cattle of the sun god, Helios. So the god prevented them from ever reaching home. Tell me, too, about all these things, O daughter of Zeus, from whatsoever source you may know them. So now, all who escaped death in battle or by shipwreck had got safely home, except Ulysses. Wait, so you guys are saying Ulysses is, like, it should be Odysseus? Is that what you were saying? Yes? Okay, so every time it says Ulysses, say Odysseus. Okay. Alright. We're gonna do this. So now, all who escaped death in battle or by shipwreck had got safely home except Odysseus. And he, though he was longing to return to his wife and country, was detained by the goddess Calypso. Who's Calypso? I know the name, but I don't know who that is in Greek. I never studied Greek and Roman mythology. Circe? You guys are awesome. Wait, Calypso is correct? Circe isn't Calypso? Is it Calypso in both? Calypso's correct, but they're spelled differently? Some of the names are Greek? You were sure it was Circe? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm having trouble finding just like a really complete list. Is Calypso you remember from your translation? Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Man, I'm so glad you're all here for this. Look in book chat. Are you serious? What am I looking? Really? Lemon Slut? How did you know which ones are all in there? Or did you just kind of do the main ones and there might be some odd ones? Holy moly. Give you the breakdown. Thank you. Oh shit, because this is causing us to pause a little more than is ideal. Oh wait, I'm not able to open it. I'm not able to open the EPUB file. Calypso's not a goddess, she's a nymph? Oh gosh. I could use a Kindle file or a PDF. I just probably need to get another e-reader on here for just EPUB files. Look at YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so distracted. Oh my god, I have so many windows open trying to manage all of this. We're not always this chaotic. The main difference between Greek and Roman Calypso is one of adoption. Romans adopted the Greek nymph Calypso, keeping her name Latinized as Calypso, and her core story from Homer's Odyssey. But Roman sources sometimes added details, like her potential offspring with Odysseus, though she remained fundamentally the beautiful nymph of Ogygia. Ogygia. Black Dragon Tavern Gaming, welcome in! She's known as the divine figure of concealment, daughter of the Titan Atlas, powerful, beautiful nymph. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you, DJ. Hi, Moser. Hello. Welcome, Raiders. Ogygia? Thank you. Yeah. You know how I am about nymphs. Oh my goodness. So you can always just correct things as we go along. Amazing, Darth. That's so rad of you. Thank you. Yeah, welcome in, you guys. Red Herring, thank you for the follow. You guys, make sure you're following Black Dragon Tavern Gaming. They are so freaking awesome over there. They do reading content as well, general storytelling. They sing shanties. They make you feel so welcome in their tavern. It's an amazing time. Go drop a follow and check out their content. Welcome in, you guys. We are starting the Odyssey, but we're just tweaking a couple things. G is the same one. Oh, a hard G. Ogygia. Ogygia. Hi, old King Bear. Good to see you. And Maddie. Good to see you. Are you a Greek expert? Greek myth expert, Maddie? That's amazing. So basically, okay, before you guys came in, I was giving this spiel about, you know, because it was a tough choice to choose the translation that we're reading, but I was, you know, restricted to translations that are in the public domain. Ultimately, I went for the translation by Samuel Butler, which is in prose as opposed to verse, but I talked about that and how I thought it was maybe a good choice for this format. However, Mr. Butler chose to use the Roman names, and so our amazing Lemon Slut is doing a little tweak to the manuscript, so it will be the Samuel Butler version, but with the Greek names put into it instead of the Roman names. Many versions that ended up being based on later Roman version. Right, yeah. Technically, it would be Kirki in Greek. Well, so there are these names, right? They've got ancient Greek pronunciations, modern Greek pronunciations, and anglicized pronunciations. The website that I found for pronunciations is put out by Emily Wilson, who is a translator of a more modern translation, not in the public domain, so I couldn't choose it. It is apparently very controversial. It was recommended to me recently by someone who's reading it right now as being very accessible. And her qualifications seem to be praised. Some people that are more you know, true classical literature lovers, um, I read some withering comments about it online saying that it's the dumbed down version, that it's the Odyssey for Zoomers, which just felt like it was, the way it was said felt kind of like an insult. These are not my opinions I'm sharing. I haven't read her translation. I've read excerpts of it. Um, it was very controversial, but some people love it. It does seem to be the most accessible. I felt like, and this is only based on a couple of excerpts, okay? I felt like it was very, like, she's leaning so far into plain text to make it accessible that even though it's written in verse, it doesn't feel poetic at all. I feel like the prose version that I'll be reading tonight is actually more poetic than her verse version. And again, that's not like derogatory, it's a different style. Yeah. Anyway. Right, you like that it's not super flowery. Right. Thank you for the follow, lazy ass menace. Hi, Moonstar. Hello. Happy New Year. Greek doesn't have soft C sounds. They all sound like K. Okay. Oh, what I was saying is that this pronunciation guide that I have open by Emily Wilson, who wrote or did that translation I was just talking about, she says that she uses the anglicized pronunciations of things. So, I'm curious what she does for Turkey/Circe. Get fucked Romans? Alright, we've got some feelings in here. Let's see what she says. She says Circe. So you're probably right about how it's pronounced in Greek, or I don't know if you're talking modern Greek or just ancient Greek, but I guess the accepted anglicized pronunciation is Circe. And that's probably what I'll stick with. Yeah, not Saoirse. That's an Irish name. PDF is in the channel? Oh my god. Lemon Slut, you're just the absolute goat. Thank you so much. This is incredible. Incroyable. C'est incroyable. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Hello. Can I not collapse this? There we go. Okay. Lemon goat. I think that's better than goat slut. It's probably better. Probably better. Okay. Alright. Small hold up, and now we're ready to dive back in. Nat, you just got auto-modded for saying goat slut. Oh, Christ. Okay. Streamer said it, so I'll allow it. What? Don't use me as an example. Okay. Alright. Are we ready? Are we ready? Holy moly. Is this... have I absolutely... There's no dark mode in this PDF reader that I can find, so I am absolutely potentially burning your retinas. ready to do this. Sorry guys. This is not... I'm trying to find the easiest way to get this set up for ease of reading. Let's do vertical scrolling, actually. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. No, it's a wild... She is. She is? No, it's okay. It's just that, just trying to... I was magnifying it just to make it easier to glance down and read. It's easier when the text is a bit bigger. But the margins on it are quite big. It's okay. I've resized my window. We're okay. We're okay. We're fine. Yep. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Lemon Slut. Here we go. Am I gonna... Okay. It's fine. Hold on. It's a little harder to read. It's a little harder to read. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not wanting to spend more time puttering. Let me see if I can open it in a different reader. Open with... Ah, come back. Okay. Bigger font and dark mode if you're able to do that. But like I should be able to do that just in my settings, right? Just the larger text makes it easier when I'm trying to like glance up at the camera as well. It makes it easier to find where I'm at on the page when I'm glancing back down. Read mode. Okay. Night mode. Okay. Night mode. And the font is just a little harder to read. It's okay though. I can do it. I can do it. Because the nice thing about the Kindle app is that I can resize the text and it just, the actual app stays the same size, right? And this one, like zooming in and out, means I have to have like a really wide window. And again, it just means that my eyes are like having to scan further, so it's harder to find my spot when I'm glancing up and down. Yeah. I mean, if you can tell me a really quick EPUB reader to download, we could do that. Quick. What's something that I can download to read a EPUB? Because I should probably have one anyways. Which EPUB reader did Samuel Butler use? Kudo? Really? Do I have to make an account? I want something where I don't have to spend like 10 minutes making an account. Damn, I thought I was so prepared. Thorium reader? Damn. We're just like starting to dive in. And hold up. Okay. This is set up to read. Yeah, no, we are gonna start reading tonight. Can we change the name of one of the gods to Logaton's cute dog? Wait, what's your cute dog's? Wait, just the words Logaton's cute dog? Does your dog have a name? Okay, hold on. I downloaded Kudo. Let me try to open the file in Kudo now. Okay, wait. This is good. I didn't have to sign up for an account. This is promising. What? Why is everything just white? Blank white. What? It's just white on white and it won't change? What the? It's just white. If I highlight it, it's there, but I'm saying to change to a dark background and it won't. Help. Yeah, hard mode reading for sure. What the hell? This is crazy. Like, there's a section for choosing a background color and a section for choosing a font color, and I'm choosing them, and it will not change either of those options from white. Hey, Holoclips. It works in your EPUB reader? What EPUB reader are you using? This is so sad. You guys, this is horrible. I thought I was so prepared. This is so freaking sad. I really want to read this book. Yeah, but I was all prepping. You guys, we have to start. What EPUB reader are you using, Lemon Slut? Apple Books. Oh, fuck. I don't use fucking Apple anything. Technically, you did start. This is just I read like 3 sentences. Alright. You guys said thorium? What if we put... I'm not okay with that. Samuel Butler was stupid for doing that. Odyssey. Alright. Let me try thorium reader. Oh, live streaming. Oh, live streaming. This is what we get. Probably got the idea from the pub. Go have another drink, Samuel. Okay. Alright. I've now downloaded Thorium Reader. Let's try this one. Okay, the good news is it isn't white on white, it's black on white. Now, can I change that to white on black? This is still an improvement, though. Still an improvement. Settings. Wonderful. Night mode. Yes, please. Scrollable. Mm-hmm. How do I make your text bigger? Zen mode. Okay. Customize text formatting. Text. Big. Bigger. Oh, that's too big. Okay. Okay. And wonderful. We're getting somewhere, you guys. We're getting somewhere. We are going to be reading very soon. Christ. Okay. We're doing it. We are doing it, you guys. Now, this might still have some Roman names in it. If there are, feel free to be like, oh, that's a Roman name. It should be blah, blah, blah. And I'll take note of it. Okay? You know? It's a decent reader, though. You can toggle margin spacing, word spacing, letter spacing, paragraph spacing, and line spacing. Oh, don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Yeah. Alright, 1.5. Helios. Wonderful. Okay, this'll work, you guys. This'll work. Thank you so much to everyone who's been patient and stuck around throughout this ordeal. You're amazing. You are incroyable. Are we ready? You guys ready? One day this will all be edited out, and future viewers of this content won't even know how much we struggled. Our struggle will be lost to the sands of time. Alright, you need a minute? Yeah, you need a bit of a smoke after that. I feel it. Alright. Let's try again, shall we? Let's try again, shall we? Okay. The Odyssey by Samuel Butler. No, hold on. The Odyssey by Homer, translated by Samuel Butler in 1900. This version is available on Project Gutenberg. You can download it from the link in the description down below if you'd like to read along. A note, we've decided to read the Samuel Butler version but change the names back to the Greek names. So that's what we're doing. So if you are reading along in the Samuel Butler version from Project Gutenberg, the names will not necessarily line up because he uses the Roman names, and we've decided let's go Greek with that. We detranslated the names. Yes. Retranslated by them is the yay. Okay. Here we go. The Odyssey, Book 1. The Gods in Council, Athena's visit to Ithaca, the challenge from Telemachus to the suitors. Tell me, O Muse, of that ingenious hero who traveled far and wide after he had sacked the famous town of Troy. Many cities did he visit, and many were the nations with whose manners and customs he was acquainted. Moreover, he suffered much by sea while trying to save his own life and bring his men safely home. But do what he might, he could not save his men, for they perished through their own sheer folly in eating the cattle of the sun god, Helios. So the god prevented them from ever reaching home. Tell me, too, about all these things, O daughter of Zeus, from whatsoever source you may know them. So now, all who escaped death in battle or by shipwreck had got safely home, except Odysseus. And he, though he was longing to return to his wife and country, was detained by the goddess Calypso, who had got him into a large cave and wanted to marry him. But as years went by, there came a time when the gods settled that he should go back to Ithaca. Even then, however, when he was among his own people, his troubles were not yet over. Nevertheless, all the gods had now begun to pity him, except Poseidon, who still persecuted him without ceasing and would not let him get home. Now, Poseidon had gone off to the Ethiopians, who are at the world's end and lie in two halves, the one looking west and the other east. He had gone there to accept a hecatomb of sheep and oxen and was enjoying himself at his festival. But the other gods met in the house of Olympian Zeus, and the sire of gods and men spoke first. At that moment, he was thinking of Aegisthus. And I'm going to look up the pronunciation here. Aegisthus. A hecatomb? I don't know. Hecatomb. Aegisthus. Okay. At that moment, he was thinking of Aegisthus, who had been killed by Agamemnon's son, Orestes. So, he said to the other gods, "See now how men lay blame upon us gods for what is, after all, nothing but their own folly. Look at Aegisthus. He must needs make love to Agamemnon's wife unrighteously, and then kill Agamemnon, though he knew it would be the death of him. For I sent Hermes to warn him not to do either of these things, inasmuch as Orestes would be sure to take his revenge when he grew up and wanted to return home. Hermes told him this in all good will, but he would not listen, and now he has paid for everything in full." Then Athena said, "Father, son of Cronus, king of kings, it served Aegisthus right, and so it would anyone else who does as he did. But Aegisthus is neither here nor there. It is for Odysseus that my heart bleeds when I think of his sufferings in that lonely, sea-girt island, far away, poor man, from all his friends. It is an island covered with forest in the very middle of the sea, and a goddess lives there, daughter of the magician Atlas, who looks after the bottom of the ocean and carries the great columns that keep heaven and earth asunder. This daughter of Atlas has got hold of poor, unhappy Odysseus, and keeps trying by every kind of blandishment to make him forget his home, so that he is tired of life and thinks of nothing but how he may once more see the smoke of his own chimneys. You, sir, take no heed of this, and yet when Odysseus was before Troy, did he not propitiate you with many a burnt sacrifice? Why, then, should you keep on being so angry with him?" And Zeus said, "My child, what are you talking about?" God, Dad, you never listen. Okay. "My child, what are you talking about? How can I forget Odysseus, than whom there is no more capable man on earth, nor more liberal in his offerings to the immortal gods that live in heaven?" My child, the fuck you mean? High heart attacks. Sorry. Bear in mind, however, that Poseidon is still furious with Odysseus for having blinded an eye of Polyphemus, king of the Cyclops. Polyphemus is son to Poseidon by the nymph Thusa, daughter to the sea king Phorcys. Forces? I don't know. I don't even see that one there. To the sea king Phorcys. No, it's spelled. Wait. Polyphemus? 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 Is that? Wow, there's a lot of names that start with poly. Polyphemus. Thank you. You were right. Polyphemus. The other one is spelled Phorcys. Forces? Oh my god, no, I haven't seen that, but his stuff is so funny. Yeah, it's, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Forces? I'm not gonna trust you, Chompy. I don't trust anything you're saying in chat right now. You just recently wrote Oridi's nuts. Like, I'm not gonna take your word for anything. Like, the big boss right now is just trying to read it while seeing Chompy's comments go up and not breaking into a giggle. Oh my god, I need to learn IPA. Forces? I don't know IPA. I need to learn it. Forces? You don't know it either? Alright, I'm gonna say Forces. Polyphemus is son to Poseidon by the nymph Thusa, daughter to the sea king Phorcys. Therefore, though he will not kill Odysseus outright, he torments him by preventing him from getting home. Still, let us lay our heads together and see how we can help him to return. Poseidon will then be pacified, for if we are all of a mind, he can hardly stand out against us. Form an IPA study club. I actually would love to learn IPA, actually. Not that kind of IPA, not the kind you drink. I actually hate IPA in terms of beer. And Athena said, Father, son of Kronos, king of kings, if then the gods now mean that Odysseus should get home, we should first send Hermes to the Ogygian island to tell Calypso that we have made up our minds and that he is to return. In the meantime, I will go to Ithaca to put my heart into Odysseus's son Telemachus. I will embolden him to call the Achaeans in assembly. We learn here. We learn here. Achaean. I will embolden him to call the Achaeans in assembly and speak out to the suitors of his mother, Penelope, who persist in eating up any number of his sheep and oxen. I will also conduct him to Sparta and to Pylos to see if he can hear anything about the return of his dear father, for this will make people speak well of him. So saying, she bound on her glittering golden sandals, imperishable, with which she can fly like the wind over land or sea. She grasped the redoubtable bronze-shod spear, so stout and sturdy and strong, wherewith she quells the ranks of heroes who have displeased her. All right, get it, girl. And down she darted from the topmost summits of Olympus, whereon forthwith she was in Ithaca, at the gateway of Odysseus's house, disguised as a visitor, Mentes, chief of the Taphians, and she held a bronze spear in her hand. There she found the lordly suitors seated on hides of the oxen which they had killed and eaten, and playing draughts in front of the house. Men servants and pages were bustling about to wait upon them, some mixing wine with water in the mixing bowls, some cleaning down the tables with wet sponges and laying them out again, and some cutting up great quantities of meat. Good night, Buddha. Sleep well. Telemachus saw her long before anyone else did. He was sitting moodily among the suitors, thinking about his brave father, and how he would send them flying out of his house if he were to come to his own again, and be honored as in days gone by. Thus, brooding as he sat among them, he caught sight of Athena, and went straight to the gate, for he was vexed that a stranger should be kept waiting for admittance. He took her right hand in his own, and bade her give him her spear. "Welcome," said he, "to our house, and when you have partaken of food, you shall tell us what you have come for." He led the way as he spoke, and Athena followed him. When they were within, he took her spear. Didn't he already take her spear? Okay, whatever. When they were within, he took her spear and set it in the spear stand against a strong bearing post, along with the many other spears of his unhappy father, and he conducted her to a richly decorated seat, under which he threw a cloth of damask. There was a footstool also for her feet, and he set another seat near her for himself, away from the suitors, that she might not be annoyed while eating by their noise and insolence, and that he might ask her more freely about his father. A maidservant then brought them water in a beautiful golden ewer, and poured it into a silver basin for them to wash their hands, and she drew a clean table beside them. An upper servant brought them bread, and offered them many good things of what there was in the house. The carver fetched them plates of all manner of meats, and set cups of gold by their side. And a manservant brought them wine, and poured it out for them. Then the suitors came in, and took their places on the benches and seats. Forthwith men servants poured water over their hands, maids went round with the bread baskets, pages filled the mixing bowls with wine and water, and they laid their hands upon the good things that were before them. As soon as they had had enough to eat and drink, they wanted music and dancing, which are the crowning embellishments of a banquet. So a servant brought a lyre to Phemius, whom they compelled perforce to sing to them. As soon as he touched his lyre and began to sing, Telemachus spoke low to Athena, with his head close to hers, that no man might hear. "I hope, sir," said he, "that you will not be offended with what I am going to say, singing comes cheap to those who do not pay for it. And all this is done at the cost of one whose bones lie rotting in some wilderness, or grinding to powder in the surf. If these men were to see my father come back to Ithaca, they would pray for longer legs rather than a longer purse, for money would not serve them. But he... Madam, I'm reading. Are you okay? Oh, okay. But he, alas, has fallen on an ill fate. And even when people do sometimes say that he is coming, we no longer heed them, or we shall never see him again. And now, sir, tell me, and tell me true, who you are and where you come from. Tell me of your town and parents, what manner of ship you came in, how your crew brought you to Ithaca, and of what nation they declared themselves to be, for you cannot have come by land. Tell me also truly, for I want to know, are you a stranger to this house, or have you been here in my father's time? In the old days we had many visitors for my father. For my father went about much himself. Okay, so this is Athena talking, but she is disguised as a man, so I'm going to use a man voice. And Athena answered, I will tell you truly and particularly all about it. I am Mentes, son of Anchialus. I am Mentes, son of Anchialus, and I am king of the Taphians. I have come here with my ship and crew on a voyage to men of a foreign tongue, being bound for Temesa with a cargo of iron. Athena. Okay. Being bound for Temesa with a cargo of iron, and I shall bring back copper. As for my ship, it lies over yonder off the open country, away from the town, in the harbour Rhythrun, under the wooded mountain Naratum. Our fathers were friends before us, as old Laertes will tell you, if you will go and ask him. They say, however, that he never comes to town now, and lives by himself in the country, faring hardly, with an old woman to look after him and get his dinner for him, when he comes in tired from pottering about his vineyard. They told me your father was at home again, and that was why I came. But it seems the gods are still keeping him back, for he is not dead yet, not on the mainland. It is more likely he is on some secret island in mid-ocean, or a prisoner among savages who are detaining him against his will. Though I am no prophet, and know very little about omens, but I speak as it is borne in upon me from heaven, and assure you that he will not be away much longer, for he is a man of such resource that even though he were in chains of iron, he would find some means of getting home again. But tell me, and tell me true, can Odysseus really have such a fine-looking fellow for a son? You are indeed wonderfully like him about the head and eyes, for we were close friends before he set sail for Troy, where the flower of all the Argives went also. Since that time, we have never, either of us, seen the other. It is Argives. I was just checking. Lexi Lou, welcome in, Raiders. Hello. Hi, Lexi. Hello, hello, welcome in. How's it going? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the raid. You guys, make sure you're following Lexi Lou. She is such a freaking amazing ASMR artist and streamer. Like, always top notch over there. So many tingles, such good quality. Also, she's hilarious and so friendly. You absolutely want to be following her. Oh my goodness. And Bowman's here too. Hi, Bowman. How's it going? And Fidge is also raiding for Lexi. Hi, Kyrax. Hello, hello. Hi, Raiders. If any of you are new here, I am Faolkor. I do a mixture of traditional ASMR that is often on the chatty, soft-spoken side, and I also do reading, and you've come in during the reading portion of the stream. You followed Lexi? Good. Casey King, you're not gonna regret it. She is so freaking talented. Yes. Oh my goodness. You are everywhere, Fidge. Yep. You are everywhere. We just started reading the Odyssey tonight. It's very exciting. We're very near the beginning. Have any of you read it before? Yes, yes, yes. You guys make sure you're also following Bowman Dean, who is another supremely talented ASMR artist. Yeah, we are... Okay, so we're reading... we are reading the Samuel Butler translation of the Odyssey. It is linked at the top of chat, the pinned comment. You can download it for free. However, Samuel Butler used the Roman names for the gods, which we all agreed was dumb. Straight dumb. So the wonderful Lemon Slut has edited the text. So if you download that, it's gonna have it. I'm reading that version, but I'm reading it with the Greek names. Because we agreed that was the best call. And why not? Why not? So yeah. If you want to listen, get cozy. We are just at the scene. So Athena feels sad that Odysseus is being trapped on a little island by Calypso. She has disguised herself as a man and gone to speak to Telemachus, who is Odysseus's son. Telemachus is at the point of losing hope that his father will ever come home again, and Athena, in her disguise, is telling him, I think your father's going to be home sooner than you think. But yes, thank you so much again, Lexi. Oh my goodness, yeah, no, feel free to pop out whenever you need to. Like, if you want to stay and listen, obviously, we love that. But as long, just, you know, take care of yourself after your own stream. Thank you again so freaking much for the raid. It is awesome to have you guys here. Also, by the way, I am also streaming over on YouTube right now. It's the first of those links is my reading channel. The second of those links is my ASMR channel. So if you would like to or are able to open up the YouTube stream, that helps with watch hours. It helps towards hitting the goal of getting monetized on YouTube. But do whatever you are most comfy and happy with. Alright, okay, let's jump back in. Right, so this is Telemachus speaking with Athena, disguised as a man named Mentes. Okay. My mother answered Telemachus, tells me I am son to Odysseus. But it is a wise child that knows his own father. Would that I were son to one who had grown old upon his own estates. For since you ask me, there is no more ill-starred man under heaven than he who they tell me is my father. And Athena said, there is no fear of your race dying out yet, while Penelope has such a fine son as you are. But tell me, and tell me true, what is the meaning of all this feasting? And who are these people? What is it all about? Have you some banquet, or is there a wedding in the family? For no one seems to be bringing any provisions of his own. And the guests, how atrociously they are behaving, what riot they make over the whole house. It is enough to disgust any respectable person who comes near them. Sir, said Telemachus, as regards your question, so long as my father was so long as my father was here, it was well with us and with the house. But the gods, in their displeasure, have willed it otherwise, and have hidden him away more closely than mortal man was ever yet hidden. I could have borne it better, even though he were dead, if he had fallen with his men before Troy, or had died with friends around him when the days of his fighting were done. For then the Achaeans would have built a mound over his ashes, and I should myself have been heir to his renown. But now the storm winds have spirited him away, we know not whither. He is gone without leaving so much as a trace behind him, and I inherit nothing but dismay. Nor does the matter end simply with grief for the loss of my father. Heaven has laid sorrows upon me of yet another kind, for the chiefs from all our islands, Dulichium, Sami, and the woodland island of Zakynthus, as also all the principal men of Ithaca itself. Okay, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. Dulichium? Let's see if these are included in this extensive list of pronunciations. Oh, it is. Dulichium. 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 I'm not making up islands. I'm not. Sami. Dulichium, Sami, and Zakynthus. Okay. For the chiefs from all our islands, Dulichium, Sami, and the woodland island of Zakynthus, as also all the principal men of Ithaca itself, are eating up my house under the pretext of paying their court to my mother, who will neither point-blank say that she will not marry, nor yet bring matters to an end. So they are making havoc of my estate, and before long will do so also with myself. Is that so? Exclaimed Athena. Then you do indeed want Odysseus home again. Give him his helmet, shield, and a couple of lances, and if he is the man he was when I first knew him in our house, drinking and making merry, he would soon lay his hands about these rascally suitors, were he to stand once more upon his own threshold. He was then coming from Ephyra. Who's squeaking? Who's squeaking in there? Ephyra. He was then coming from Ephyra, where he had been where he had been to beg poison for his arrows from Ilus, son of Murmurus. Murmurus is not in there, but it is Ilus. Okay. From Ilus, son of Murmurus. Ilus feared the ever-living gods and would not give him any. But my father let him have some, for he was very fond of him. If Odysseus is the man he then was, these suitors will have a short shrift and a sorry wedding. But there, it rests with heaven to determine whether he is to return and take his revenge in his own house or no. I would, however, urge you to set about trying to get rid of these suitors at once. Take my advice. Call the Achaean heroes in assembly tomorrow morning. Lay your case before them, and call heaven to bear you witness. Bid the suitors take themselves off, each to his own place, and if your mother's mind is set on marrying again, let her go back to her father, who will find her a husband and provide her with all the marriage gifts that so dear a daughter may expect. As for yourself, let me prevail upon you to take the best ship you can get, with a crew of 20 men, and go in quest of your father, who has so long been missing. Someone may tell you something, or, and people often hear things in this way, some heaven-sent message may direct you. First, go to Pylos and ask Nestor. Thence go on to Sparta and visit Menelaus, for he got home last of all the Achaeans. If you hear that your father is alive and on his way home, you can put up with the waste these suitors will make for yet another 12 months. If, on the other hand, you hear of his death, come home at once. Celebrate his funeral rites with all due pomp. Build a barrow to his memory, and make your mother marry again. Then, having done all this, think it well over in your mind how, by fair means or foul, you may kill these suitors in your own house. Damn, Athena. Okay. You are too old to plead infancy any longer. Have you not heard how people are singing Orestes' praises for having killed his father's murderer, Aegisthus? You are a fine, smart-looking fellow. Show your mettle, then, and make yourself a name in story. Now, however, I must go back to my ship and to my crew, who will be impatient if I keep them waiting longer. Think the matter over for yourself, and remember what I have said to you. Hi, Kyrax. Yeah, go make a story. Sir, answered Telemachus, it has been very kind of you to talk to... It has been very kind of you to talk to me in this way, as though I were your own son. And I will do all as you tell me. Sorry. And I will do all you tell me. I know you want to be getting on with your voyage, but stay a little longer, till you have taken a bath and refreshed yourself. I will then give you a present, and you shall go on your way rejoicing. I will give you one of great beauty and value, a keepsake, such as only dear friends give to one another. Athena answered, Do not try to keep me, for I would be on my way at once. As for any present you may be disposed to make me, keep it till I come again, and I will take it home with me. you shall give me a very good one, and I will give you one of no less value in return." With these words, she flew away like a bird into the air. Wait, in front of him? Did he watch her fly away? Like, why go to all the effort of pretending to be a man and be like, yeah, I came on my ship. You can't see it. It's just down the island a bit, but it's totally a ship and crew there. Like, why go to the effort of making that lie just to fly out the window like a bird? But she had given Telemachus courage and had made him think more than ever about his father. He felt the change, wondered at it, and knew that the stranger had been a god. So he went straight to where the suitors were sitting. Phemius? 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 Phemius. Phemius was still singing, and his hearers sat wrapped in silence as he told the sad tale of the return from Troy and the ills Athena had laid upon the Achaeans. Penelope, daughter of Icarius, heard his song from her room upstairs and came down by the great staircase, not alone, but attended by 2 of her handmaids. When she reached the suitors, she stood by one of the bearing posts that supported the roof of the cloisters, with a staid maiden on either side of her. She held a veil, moreover, before her face, and was weeping bitterly. Phemius, she cried, you know many another feat of gods and heroes, such as poets love to celebrate. Sing the suitors some one of these, and let them drink their wine in silence. But cease this sad tale, for it breaks my sorrowful heart, and reminds me of my lost husband, whom I mourn ever without ceasing, and whose name was great over all Hellas and middle Argos. Mother, answered Telemachus, let the bard sing what he has a mind to. Bards do not make the ills they sing of. It is Zeus, not they, who makes them, and who sends weal or woe upon mankind according to his own good pleasure. This fellow means no harm by singing the ill-fated return of the Danaans. The Danaans? What? It's spelled like the Tuatadanan. Wait. What? It's not in here. It's gotta be talking about different Danaans, right? For people always applaud the latest songs most warmly. Make up your mind to it and bear it. Odysseus is not the only man who never came back from Troy, but many another went down as well as he. Go then within the house and busy yourself with your daily duties, your loom, your distaff, and the ordering of your servants. For speech is man's matter, and mine above all others, for it is I who am master here. You know, Telemachus, I kind of liked you a bit. I kind of liked you a little bit. However, go back to your little woman's work. Go do your weaving. she went wandering back into the house and laid her son's saying in her heart. Then, going upstairs with her handmaids into her room, she mourned her dear husband, till Athena shed sweet sleep over her eyes. But the suitors were clamorous throughout the covered cloisters, and prayed each one that he might be her bedfellow. Then Telemachus spoke. "Shameless," he cried, "and insolent suitors! Let us feast at our pleasure now, and let there be no brawling. For it is a rare thing to hear a man with such a divine voice as Phemius has. But in the morning meet me in full assembly, that I may give you formal notice to depart, and feast at one another's houses, turn and turn about at your own cost. If, on the other hand, you choose to persist in sponging upon one man, heaven help me, but Zeus shall reckon with you in full, and when you fall in my father's house, there shall be no man to avenge you." The suitors bit their lips as they heard him, and marveled at the boldness of his speech. Then Antinous, son of Eupeithes, You thought it was Telemachus? I thought it was Telemachus. Eupeithes. Well, let me double check, because that would be a pretty big thing to be fucking up on. Am I wrong? Have I been wrong? Telemachus. I think I've got it right. Possibly it's a case where both are accepted in different accents, but I think I'm okay to keep saying Telemachus. Okay. Then Antinous, son of Eupeithes, said, "The gods seem to have given you lessons in bluster and tall talking. May Zeus never grant you to be chief of Ithaca, as your father was before you." Telemachus answered, "Antinous, do not chide with me, but God willing, I will be chief too, if I can. Is this the worst fate you can think of for me? It is no bad thing to be a chief, for it brings both riches and honor. Still, now that Odysseus is dead, there are many great men in Ithaca, both old and young, and some other may take the lead among them. Nevertheless, I will be chief in my own house, and will rule those whom Odysseus has won for me." Then Eurymachus, son of Polybus, answered, "Well, it rests with heaven to decide who shall be chief among us. But you shall be master in your own house and over your own possessions. No one, while there is a man in Ithaca, shall do you violence nor rob you. And now, my good fellow, I want to know about this stranger. What country does he come from? Of what family is he, and where is his estate? Has he brought you news about the return of your father? Or was he on business of his own? He seemed a well-to-do man, but he hurried off so suddenly that he was gone in a moment before we could get to know him." "My father is dead and gone," answered Telemachus, "and even if some rumor reaches me, I put no more faith in it now. My mother does indeed sometimes send for a soothsayer and question him, but I give his prophesyings no heed. As for the stranger, he was Mentes, son of Anchialus, chief of the Taphians, an old friend of my father's. But in his heart, he knew that it had been the goddess. The suitors then returned to their singing and dancing until the evening, but when night fell upon their pleasuring, they went home to bed, each in his own abode. Telemachus's room was high up in a tower that looked on to the outer court. Hither, then, he hied, brooding and full of thought. A good old woman, Euryclea, daughter of Ops, the son of Pisanor, went before him with a couple of blazing torches. Laertes had bought her with his own money when she was quite young. He gave the worth of 20 oxen for her, and shewed as much respect to her in his household as he did to his own wedded wife. The name is literally spelled O-P-S. Ops. Ops. As he did to his own wedded wife. But he did not take her to his bed, for he feared his wife's resentment. She it was who now lighted Telemachus to his room, and she loved him better than any of the other women in the house did, for she had nursed him when he was a baby. He opened the door of his bedroom and sat down upon the bed. As he took off his shirt, he gave it to the good old woman, who folded it tidily up and hung it for him over a peg by his bedside, after which she went out, pulled the door to by a silver catch, and drew the bolt home by means of the strap. But Telemachus, as he lay covered with a woolen fleece, kept thinking all night through of his intended voyage, and of the counsel that Athena had given him. End of book 1. Hey. Oh man. Okay, let's pause for a moment. How are we feeling about this? Now that we're actually, underway in reading it, how are we feeling? Are you guys following along? Are you enjoying it? You think it's great? Like, it's not the most lyrical, flowery, poetic version that I found. It is a lot more straightforward, but I thought that might be good in terms of you guys following along, right? Not enough Odysseus. Okay, well. Hold on, we're getting there. Yeah. Okay. Well, now it took us a lot longer to start reading than we thought. Do you guys want to read a bit more, or do you want to put it on hold until Thursday? Because it took us so long to get into it. Book now. Either way, I'm gonna take like a 2-minute stretch break. You're fading fast. Okay, absolutely. Sean, sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, rest up. Thank you for being here. Are you done? We read book 1 of it. There's like 20 something books. Think of them like chapters. We finished chapter 1. Yeah. So now I was thinking of not going. We are at 3 hours, and usually on Tuesday I do not go super late. Oh no, we just finished book 1 minis. Yeah. So we are at like an easy stopping point. I'm just frustrated because I thought we'd get through like a couple of them because I didn't think it would be such a hassle to set it up. Yeah. So we could either pause now. I don't know how long book 2 is, but this was a great start. Do you guys feel okay about pausing here? I'm sorry that it took for all of the technical difficulties. Yeah, that's probably for the best, just because so for those who weren't here earlier or whatever, Tuesdays I do 2 streams in a day, so I've already done an afternoon stream and then go offline for a couple hours and then come back. So we've been going for 3 hours tonight, but we streamed, I don't know, how long was the afternoon stream? Maybe like 2.5 hours or something in the afternoon. Just to emphasize it again, this translation was pretty much intended exactly for this purpose, wide audience, in this case Twitch, and to be accessible. So I really do think not going with the epic poem was the right choice. I appreciate you saying that, Locotone, because I did dither over that a lot, because I'm like, it was written as verse, it's intended to be verse, but I think that wouldn't, like, that makes more sense if it's like a literature class where you're all like reading on the page, you know? I feel like it's easier for verse to just like go over people's heads, to kind of tune it out, and that can still be cozy content, having something like going on in the background. But yeah, I thought this would be easier to like stick with the story, and then if any of you are like, wow, I loved that, you might go on to like seek out a version in verse for yourself, but then it would be easier to get into a version translated into verse because you're already more familiar with the story. So yeah, but thank you for saying that, because I was dithering and worrying about that. So yeah, yeah. If we were to witness the Odyssey in verse form, the best way nowadays is to listen to Epic the Musical. I've been hearing a bit about Epic the Musical just in the research, but I didn't know about it beforehand. This specific reading is very long form. What do you mean? Like it drags, or I'm gonna have to look into Epic afterwards. Hi Sticks, it's just flavored water. It's just flavored water. I flavored it with strawberry watermelon Mio. I just enjoy goblets. They are more comfortable and enjoyable in the hand. Read the original first and then listen to it. Oh yeah, we'll be doing the original first for sure. Okay. Well, I think probably we should pause here then, which is disappointing. I think that's probably for the best. They do fit your aesthetic. All you need is a black cloak. I wouldn't turn down a nice cloak. Also, Smoliv, thank you for the follow. Also, what a freaking adorable username. Smoliv. Okay. Alright, you guys. Yeah, let's wrap up the YouTube stream. I'll spend a couple extra minutes over on Twitch, but I think it's for the best. My back's been kind of tweaking a bit anyways, but we will be back reading more of this and doing a longer stretch of reading on Thursday night. So obviously my streams start at 8 p.m. Pacific time on Twitch. I'm trying to be better at being on time for starting reading, which is an hour after that, so should be going live on YouTube around 9 p.m. Pacific time. We were so on time with things today. Very proud of us. Yeah. But this is exciting. Thank you for being here for it. Thank you again to Lemon Slut for modifying the text. And yeah, hope you join me on Thursday for more of the Odyssey. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Okay, bye YouTube. Bye YouTube.